Good happy Friday, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to Riley's Kingdom of News right here on WRMK News Radio. It's Friday, January 17, 2025. We got a lot of news to get to on this Friday, so let's get started right now. First out, big turnout for testimony on legislation to eliminate income cap on school choice program. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9, Adam Sexton.
Families over the income eligibility limit for education freedom accounts, the state's school choice program, are urging lawmakers to support legislation making access universal.
We live just above that line, and my husband works in sales. One more dip of the economy, and it wouldn't just be our kids' education. It would be a whole lot more.
Currently, the EFA program is open to families with an income at or below 350% of the federal poverty level. In 2024, that was just under $110,000 for a family of four.
There's been people applying who are just $1 over. And so anytime you impose an income limit, then you're excluding someone who may still need help.
Opponents of making EFAs available to all families regardless of income say such a dramatic expansion of the program would come with an astronomical price tag.
If all the students who are currently in private school or being homeschooled to some kind of private option, all the different varieties that can look like, were to take up an EFA, the ballpark is over $100 million a year.
Meanwhile, many districts like Dover are already not receiving all necessary funds to adequately educate their students, including those with disabilities.
Parents over the current income cap say they pay taxes too, and they've already had to cut back to afford private education.
My personal sting is that I don't have my ski passes anymore.
While House Republicans are gung-ho about universal access to EFAs, Governor Kelly Ayotte, who supports the concept, is taking a more measured approach.
I'll work with the legislature on that as the ultimate goal. And what we do over this biennium, I think that we will be, regardless of whether we get to universal or not, we'll be expanding those opportunities.
In Concord, Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. We want to hear from you. Send in your thoughts and opinions right now at rknetwork1995 at gmail.com. That's rknetwork1995 at gmail.com. Seacoast communities discuss Plastow Fire Department proposal for new paramedic care. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9.
So right now, there are 13 towns contracted with the Exeter Hospital ALS program. On March 21st, that program will be officially closing. So the purpose of tonight's meeting was for the Plastow Fire Department to go over their plan for a new regional program to those towns and convince them to sign a one-year contract.
We've been talking about them a lot at meetings because it's important to the community.
Heidi Carlson is the town administrator in Fremont, and she represented her community tonight while the Plastow Fire Chief went over the new paramedic intercept service planned for the Seacoast.
What they've come up with, we hope, is going to be a viable, good replacement option for the Exeter Hospital program.
A replacement that's needed after the owner of Exeter Hospital announced in September its advanced life support program would be discontinued after 32 years. It supplied 2 paramedics and specialty equipment in an SUV to respond to emergencies in the field.
I'm an EMT as well and have been out on calls where I know that presence of an advanced life support provider made a difference between life and death. So it's something people are concerned about.
After months of brainstorming, the Seacoast Chief Fire Officers Mutual Aid District is backing Plastow's proposal that brings in 2 staffed vehicles, 2 paramedics available 24/7, the same level of service provided by Exeter Hospital, and more training for paramedic staff. Because Exeter Hospital is giving $2 million to help launch the program, the cost to participating towns will be the same as what they're paying now for the first year. After that, the cost will depend on how many towns sign on.
It's emergency help, right? It's something that's not scheduled, and people don't know when they're going to have the worst day of their life, and they deserve to have high-quality service come to them in a time of need.
In Exeter, Imani Fleming, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. We want to hear from you, your thoughts and opinions on that. Do you think it's a good idea or not? Let me know Send in your thoughts and opinions right now at rknetwork1995 at gmail.com. That's rknetwork1995 at gmail.com. Biden will not enforce ban on TikTok, officials say. Let's take a listen to that report from NBC News.
With just 2 days before the ban on TikTok is set to take effect, the wildly popular platform is finding a temporary lifeline from President Biden in a major reversal as he prepares to leave office.
The fight isn't over. It's just going to be extended.
Two administration officials tell NBC News the outgoing White House will not enforce the hundreds of billions of dollars of potential fines against companies that host TikTok, essentially pausing the ban from taking effect Sunday.
Things are starting to look really good for TikTok.
Congress passed the law last spring with overwhelming bipartisan support. It required TikTok's Chinese parent company, ByteDance, to sell the app to an American company, something it's given no indications it has plans to do. This is all over national security concerns. The Chinese government could steal the user data or manipulate the content shown to Americans. TikTok denies this.
Nothing has changed. The national security concerns remain exactly the same.
Then why do you think the Biden administration is taking this step to say we're not going to implement this?
The Biden administration has 1 day left. They certainly don't want to take the political heat for shutting down a popular app. This is going to go over to the Trump team.
President-elect Trump, who tried and failed to ban TikTok in his first term, now supports saving it, with his incoming national security advisor confirming they have plans to intervene.
We're going to find a way to preserve it, but protect people's data, and that's the deal that'll be in front of us.
This latest effort to keep TikTok from going dark to its 170 million American users comes as the company's CEO, Shou Chu, is expected to attend the inauguration ceremony on Monday, sitting on the platform alongside other tech executives, including Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg. So the Supreme Court did give late notice. They will have rulings today, indicating there's a chance we get that TikTok decision, especially with that Sunday deadline quickly approaching. But with the Biden administration saying it won't implement the law, a Supreme Court ruling could have less impact here.
Hey, thanks for watching.
Okay, and there you go on that report. We want to hear from you right now. What are your thoughts on this? Email us right now at rknetwork1995 at gmail.com. Trump team unveils official portrait ahead of inauguration. Let's take a listen to that report from NBC News.
This morning, Washington is preparing for an imminent power shift.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
By this time Monday, Donald Trump will be poised to take the oath of office for the second time as America's 47th president. Ahead of the pomp and pageantry, security preparations are underway here in the nation's capital. Among those not attending Monday's inauguration, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, according to her office. Pelosi regularly clashed with Trump during his first term. Former First Lady Michelle Obama is also not attending. While former Presidents Obama, Bush, and Clinton will be at the ceremony, they will not attend Trump's traditional inaugural lunch. The Trump transition team unveiling these official portraits of the incoming president and vice president. The image of Trump remarkably similar to his 2023 mugshot taken at Georgia's Fulton County Jail that became a rallying cry among the MAGA faithful. Heading into the inauguration, a parade of Trump cabinet picks are making the rounds on Capitol Hill. The president-elect's pick to lead the Treasury Department, Scott Bessent, warning if Congress fails to extend the 2017 Trump tax cuts, taxes on the middle class will increase.
If we do not renew and extend, then we will be facing an economic calamity.
Has been the greatest honor of my life.
Meanwhile, as President Biden heads into his final weekend in the White House, two people close to the president tell NBC News he's experienced a swing of emotions since the election. Gloomy, resigned, angry, even wistful. Another person close to the president says he's totally dejected and the people around him are as well. The president sitting down with MSNBC's Lawrence O'Donnell overnight, reflecting on his legacy, saying he could have done a better job explaining his handling of the economy.
Ironically, I almost spent too much time on the policy, not enough time on the politics.
And new this morning, President Biden is commuting the sentences of nearly 2,500 people convicted of non-violent drug offenses. He has now issued more pardons and commutations, Craig, than any president in American history.
All right, Peter Alexander from the White House there. Peter, thank you. And of course, NBC News will bring you full coverage of Monday's inauguration. And it starts right here on Today. Savannah and I will both be there live. Another programming note as well. Sunday on Meet the Press, Kristen Walker is going to be looking ahead to the next Trump administration. Hey, thanks.
Okay, and there you go on that report. We want to hear from you. What are your thoughts and opinions on that? And what do you think about their official portrait as well? Send in your opinions right now and your thoughts at rknetwork1995@gmail.com. That does it for this Friday edition of Riley's Kingdom of News right here on WRMK News Radio. Thank you for tuning in and listening, and have a fantastic Friday and a wonderful weekend. See you back here on Monday. Bye.